Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining us on another episode of today's Electrical Estimating. I'm your co-host, Chris Trommer, and as always, I'm joined by our other co-host, Sal Huerta.
Hello, everyone.
And we have
Right,
another
right on
visitor
cue.
as well joining us in the background if you've seen. So we got a little bit of a live audience today on, I guess what we can say is our season one wrap up. I don't know if podcasts barely have seasons, but we're calling this the end of season one. I think it's gone great. I mean, for somebody that I've worked with Electric Smarts for almost a decade now, but primarily on that advertising side and not really involved with the estimating. These conversations that we've had with estimators and business owners, consultants, third party companies, contractors, estimating company. It's been really enlightening. I think it's been great. And they've really provided insight from their perspective for people within the channel, say contractors and distributors or manufacturers, to better understand their other channel partners, maybe the challenges they have, the issues that they're having as well, to understand this whole environment just a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. The guests that we've had have really been top-notch people. So that's the first thing. They brought a wealth of information to us that's allowed us to, present this to people. But I think the one takeaway that I got from this was, the estimating side of the business, how many other industries, manufacturing, distribution, consulting, so forth, all tie in together. So it's not like they're all siloed on their own. There's a lot of interaction in between, and I hope that our podcast has brought out a little bit of that so everyone can understand that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to that point, just talking about the databases themselves, obviously, contractors have had the ability to customize their own databases for, you know, a while now. But the process isn't that easy, as we found out. It's either uploading data or scraping data, and it could be time consuming. But now to see all the different pieces and companies coming in together to make it an easier step for them to grow their database and then customize it between companies such as ours with the Bid Advantage program, where manufacturers can provide us products to get down into databases, to you guys with your smart ECAT and the net pricer system, where it's an easy click and play kind of, or plug and play, depending how you want to look at it, ability to pull products in on an as needed basis, to again the contractor doing it on his own, to you know estimating companies like when we talked with Paul from McCormick being able to take products they have in the databases and create assemblies yearly from the products that they're getting sent over into these databases. So it seems like all these combining factors are now working together to benefit the end user, which is an estimator, to make their job easier when it comes to product selection for these bids they're creating.
Yeah, absolutely. The database has always been kind of the black hole when it comes to all this. People knew it was there but didn't know what was in it or how to do things or so forth. And so all the services you just mentioned right now does allow an estimator to have a lot more control and a lot more customization into the database specifically for them. And then also on top of that, these are contractors. They're doing work all day long, and database management isn't a part of what they, what's in their wheelhouse. So having services and programs that allow them to make that process easier for them is making them much more profitable.
And I feel like databases was a big conversation piece with our guests in the beginning. I mean, these last 20 or so episodes, I think we had a majority that were geared towards databases. And I feel like it is something that you just said there, was it was a black hole. I talk to manufacturers a lot in years now. They don't know what products they have in there, what products are active, obsolete. They don't know how to get new products in there. I mean, all this is to the benefit of the contractor at the end of things, or the estimator, to have new products from these manufacturers in their databases and to have obsolete products taken out for them so they don't have to worry about them. And I think with my conversation with manufacturers, this is drawing back that curtain. More and more I've seen over the last couple of years are getting involved in this and being interested in this space, and how can they support with these new products? How can they help get their obsolete products out? And I think, again, at the end of the day, it's all a benefit for the estimator because it makes their experience a lot easier. And as you said, they're not having to figure out how to go find the products and insert them on their own. Even though, as we said, NetPricer makes it a little bit easier for them, it's still taking the time to have to go in there, find the products, select the products, upload the product. With these conversations, it's not only educated myself, but I think it's really, as I said before, pull back the curtain for a lot of other channel partners that didn't have an understanding of the database situation, which sometimes is forgotten about, isn't the biggest area of interest. That's more the opposite end of things on the engineering side, but is as valuable as that engineering side.
Yeah, in years past, databases were just a necessary evil. You had to have it in there. You had to have something in there. The manufacturer, I mean, sorry, the estimating package picked item A, B, C, with no rhyme or reason to it, and so forth. But it's the phrase you use quite a bit today, which is data is king now. So data is what everyone's looking for. So now these databases are becoming much more relevant to a manufacturer to distribution because they're wanting to get the products that they're selling or they're manufacturing into these databases now. So that becomes a very big point for them now. And then this is where contractors and especially the estimators are now, like you mentioned earlier, fine tuning these databases to work that they're doing, jobs that they're familiar with, those kinds of things.
And I think with as many companies now getting involved and industry partners and channel partners also taking a liking to the database area where they know they can have a little bit more input, it just opens up the world for the future because now, as I was just mentioning, new products being involved, less time for, as you said, contractors having to do this themselves, accurate data that's coming in there. It just goes on. And with the new technology that's coming into the world, it could just really change this up and make it more efficient for them going forwards.
And that's the key there, efficiency. If you find ways within a job and we had a consultant talk a little bit about, efficiencies within, as a consultant for a company. That's it. Things that they normally don't do on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes you need help to look at it from a different angle. And those efficiencies that you can take out, in this case, for the database side of it, taking out the obsolete items, adding the newer items, retraining your staff on how to install these things. All that becomes very, very important to a company.
Well, as I mentioned, season one, we talked a bunch about databases. We had some other topics as well, but I feel like that was more of the tone going forwards because it sort of was that black hole as we were talking about before. But season two, starting beginning of 2025. I know we have some great guests coming up on there. We're expanding the conversations even further, revisiting some things we've talked in the past, but looking into areas that we haven't touched upon as much, labor being one of them. So I am looking forward to that. I know we got some great guests that we're going to be talking to in the next couple of weeks. We already have some that are on board and already did their recording. So we're getting to get started with that. But if you are listening, and you haven't subscribed so far, please do. We're not going to be going away for 2.5 months. We will be filling you in with some short highlights and some shorts that will be on our page from past episodes for you to catch up. And then, also take some time, like the Facebook page for Electric Smarts and NetPricer. We'll have additional information rolling out while we're getting these new episodes taken care of for you. So, Sal, it's been great. I've had a great time so far. I look forward to what we're going to be rolling out in season two and catching up with you then.
Yeah, we had a very successful year one of this season. So I'm very proud of all the guests and the work we put into this. And, you and I have joked about this in the past. We've actually grown as well, from the first one and how we decided to put it together versus what we have today. And then season two will be just that much more better.
Oh, yeah. It's like night and day. I remember when we first came up with this idea and our president looked over and said, go ahead and do it. And I was like, I'm not a podcast guy. I've never done this. I don't know how to do this. I listened to them, but I don't know what to do. And we figured it out and got it on air. And as you said, we've grown over all these episodes. So as we move forward, I hope we just continue to grow and making this information and the way that we present it more beneficial to the people that are listening to us every week while we're rolling these episodes out, because that's really what it's all about.
Totally agree.
All right. So until 2025, everyone, as I said, keep an eye out on our shorts on our YouTube channel, our Facebook pages, and we'll talk to you then. Take care.